Welcome to Two Chicks Talking Trash,
a Revival Society podcast.
Today, our topic is going to be about the Skoolie bus.
Yeah, so basically what a Skoolie is a renovated school bus that's made into a house or an RV.
And why are we talking about this, Crystal?
Because I did the plunge and I finally bought myself a bus.
So exciting, but that sounds insane, and I'm so excited to go along with this journey. You bought a school bus!
Yeah, I mean, we've been looking for a while as a family, and then finally, I would say, after tons of prayer, I found one down the street. So, not only...
Which is insane, because we've been looking in Florida, we've been looking in Arkansas.
Oh, I was willing to travel for
Yeah.
it. And it's hard to find a bus, because there's like a few things you have to look out for is the condition of the engine, and no, I'm not a mechanic. And then also you have to be careful of rust, because that's things you can't come back from.
Which, side note, is why we were looking more in the south. It's that they last a little bit longer since they don't have salt on the streets and the rust issues. So what is the bus's name?
So we're calling it Skoolie, but basically through this...
Skoolie.
Yeah, Skoolie, which is like our last name, Sokolis.
Yeah. My maiden name, Sokolis, yeah.
Yeah. But basically for the podcast, we're going to give pointers on starting your own renovations, things that I didn't really know when I was starting it, and then places to look out for, such as blogs and groups that you kind of connect with through the process to kind of get your own, I guess, dreams started, because it is a different way of living. There's not much information, so you're kind of going through the grapevine of listening to other people who have been through it.
Yeah, so what is your purpose? Because I know what I'm going to get from this. I know my selfish reasons of a school bus. I'm super excited for this bus conversion camper, but what was your reason for taking the plunge?
Obviously to get me out of the studio. I'm often upstairs in the attic working by myself, and I am not a person that likes to work alone. I'm very much an extrovert, even though I need my moments of like self-indulgence of just being by myself. But I want to get out in the world, not only to kind of do missions trips. I really like disaster relief stuff, but I want to travel with the studio. So not only do travel podcasts, but also work through the bus to create my projects for Ophelia Handmade and then sell it into retail shops around the United States.
Fun.
Yeah, so my goal is to live out of it, even though my parents think that's ridiculous, but then also to take the family on adventures. So it is equipped to sleep. I think we're going to do 5
Yeah, we were talking about, and there I guess goes into our next little segment, is the plan for the bus. So when you bought the bus, the person that you bought it from, when I went on there, super cute. He was a young gentleman and traveled by himself. And he did a really good job, I think, of figuring out the design of the bus that suits him best. But when we went in there, although it was great, it didn't suit our family needs, your needs for your studio. So what is the plan? Because I hope he's not listening, we've ripped out everything.
I mean, I think, honestly, how the whole story went was I contacted this guy. Not only was the bus a great price, I found him on Facebook Marketplace. If you're looking for, like, a really great deal and, like...
You love Facebook.
I love and I condone Facebook Marketplace. Not only can you find great prices, but it's a very meet and greet. You quickly get the transaction done. But not only was he 10 minutes down the road, which was, like, a godsend, but man, my life has been done a 180, and I didn't really know where my life was going. So yeah.
But you got a dog.
I got a dog
and a bus
to fill that void.
No, not fill the void.
No, the dog was to fill a void. And then, but he perfectly filled that void. And then the bus kind of was maybe like a midlife crisis. Like, where am I going with my life? Oh, I'm going
towards... a bus.
Yeah, get a bus. I can go anywhere with my life.
It's like the guy that lives in the van down by the river. That's like a bad sign. So, but I do have to say, this bus is really nice. It has solar panels.
It's more luxurious.
Yeah.
So
it's not the van by the river guy.
No, I would like to think I'm more high end than that. But what he did was great. He had all the necessities. There's a shower inside. There was 4 solar panel mounted to the top. And there's lighting that ran through it. He even lined the ceiling with wood.
Favorite feature is the cast iron stove.
Yes, which he didn't even put in. The person before him did.
Gives him charm. It gives it charm, but it also has been very functional. While we've been working in the winter deconstructing, it was super nice to start a fire and deconstruct while
and it's a bit surreal being in a bus with a fire going, even when he was test driving it with us, which that story is crazy. When he took us on the test drive, we started asking about his story, and I guess he was getting rid of the bus because he was going on missions trip. I can't really say where because he asked me not to, but he was going on missions trips and he couldn't have the bus anymore. So when I was talking to him about my purpose for the bus, he sort of said there was a bunch of people looking at it and he felt that I was the person that was meant to have it. And so not only did he give me an extra deal on it, but then we got to take it home the next day. It was like this magical, like, deal that went down, and I couldn't explain how, like, it felt so like it was meant to be at that very moment.
And I mean, I don't think he knows the name of this podcast, but he was strange. The guy was strange. And I feel lucky for you that you guys connected in a way where he felt that it was the right fit, because all of my sensors were, he's shopping for a human suit.
Okay, like, that is not true. Renee, let me just say, she has one too many sensors and they often misfire because she thinks everyone's weird.
No, I watch a lot of SVU.
I know, which I think is not a good move for you.
It is.
Yeah.
Olivia Benson would tell me, trust your gut. And
I guess they're based off true stories.
They are. Yes. It is. It's in the theme song. No, I'm super excited about the bus.
And the guy was super nice, just FYI.
Anyway.
So anyways, it came with 170,000 miles on it, but even though that sounds like a crazy amount, buses are meant to run forever. So it's diesel, automatic, and then it has air seats, which we've been looking at buses for 2 years.
Yeah.
And we went on a lot. Not only were they like $30,000 for like a rusted bus from 1990s, like that just wasn't
100,000 miles plus.
Yes, and we were like 30,000. That's crazy. So not only was this like less than half the price, but it came with less mileage. It was a 2003 International, and then I brought a mechanic with me, a friend of ours, who actually looked at the engine and drove it and said, "If you don't get the bus, I'm getting the bus."
Yeah, shout out to the Morris boys. They're always willing to go on our little adventures with us and check everything out. And
bless your guys' hearts.
They are. They've been a blessing. So thank you, Morrises. Yeah, that was really actually great to like bring somebody who knew what they were doing and looking at, because we just looked at the interior and was like, yeah, this is great. This looks pretty. It's got a cast iron stove. Done.
Yes.
But we have actually a plan for the bus as far as the design, which we opened a Instagram account that you can follow along with the journey. So it's the Skoolie. And it's, for me, I liked the deconstruction part.
Yeah, you should have saw Renee in there with a hammer.
Yeah.
I asked her to paint for a little bit, and then I was like, "Oh, you're fired," because she kept painting on the windows,
painting.
And then finally, I handed her a hammer and a screw gun, and she was everything was out within minutes.
Yeah, but it's nice to see a blank slate, and we have a plan.
Yes.
And we picked out materials. We already bought the mini fridge. We bought the tile. You have everything painted that you need to be done. You bought new flooring that needs to be patched in. So basically everything's
now done in steps because it's cold out and it's winter. Like, we're sort of at a standstill, I guess.
Design takes time.
Yes.
And I think if this is what your plan is for the next few years, you want to do it right. So I'm super excited about the design and the plan, and I can't wait to see it to come together. So I hope you guys follow along, and we'll do updates. I think it was really fun. But I actually was looking up like fun facts, which I love fun facts, and the word bus literally comes from the Latin word ambius, which means for all. So I think that's really nice, is that it's meant for a whole bunch of, we don't have a large family, but we're a growing family,
and we're a very close. Dedicated family.
Yeah, we're a close-knit family. I love that all of us are going to climb on board. I can completely see this as years to come. Fun for all.
Yeah, and it's really been sort of endearing. You know how like there's some projects that you do and you feel like you're only doing it by yourself. The bus project, on the other hand, the whole family has been involved. Everybody's wanted to help out in some way. And in fact, even my other sister like begged one day, like, can I just come over and help paint? Everybody else has been working on it. Can I? And not only has she, but my uncle I haven't talked to in forever. He's going to be helping me on the bus welding the machines or the tanks to the bottom side. So it's really been this weird, like, even though I'm leaving with the bus event. It's like, yeah, it's brought us all together. And so it's been like a healing process.
If you're having family issues,
get a bus. Yeah.
Well, okay, so you bought or you didn't buy, but you adopted a dog, a great dog. I love this dog. I told Chris the other day, if you end up dying it in life, yes, I'll take your dog.
No, she harshly was like, if you die, I'll have your dog. Yeah, I was like, all right, thanks,
I love him, and he's great. He's a perfect addition. Have you thought about like how you're gonna travel with Klaus?
Oh, he's like been on there every day that I work on there. He obsesses over it. He lays right next to me while I work. So I'll of course have a bed in there for him, but I am making sure that all of the fixtures in the bus sort of collapse down to a minimal standpoint. So it has minimal footprint. I want more open space than most bus conversions do. I don't like the center aisle. I want him to feel comfortable. He's a pretty big guy.
The conversation that Crystal and I constantly go back and forth over is I keep worrying about space as far as, do you have enough closet space, storage space, pack this here, pack this there. And she really wants that open floor plan. So we're trying to find the medium ground between these two thought processes and find storage space in areas that you wouldn't normally think of. In a pleasantly aesthetic, open way.
Yeah, and now Renee, I take her opinion very serious because she is my interior designer, even though it's my boss, so I do run everything by you.
I'm opinionated.
She's so opinionated.
Today is one of those days where I'm like extra opinionated. So
it's great we're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
But we did figure out an alternative solution. You can actually buy these... an underneath compartment. They're mainly for trucks, but you can buy them pre-made.
Right. This is something our uncle suggested. So Crystal was looking for storage that
would be out of the way.
Yeah, out of the way. So the thing about school bus conversions is you have to remember that there's wheel wells. So where the wheels come up, there's going to be storage taken in that area. So you can't have a flush floor print everywhere. So that takes up some space. If you're going to have a bathroom, that takes up some space. You're going to need obvious things. Where we have battery packs for the solar panels takes up space.
Yeah.
And then you need sleeping compartments.
And your water tanks, your propane. So like, where do you get your hot water? That comes from your propane.
And gray water, which is all of the dirty water that runs off of the bus.
Yes.
So these are all things that you go into it not even thinking about, and you realize, okay, now you have to compartmentalize all of these pieces.
Yes.
We've come up with, there is probably a million different floor plans that you can sleep 10 to 12. I don't know. That might be extreme for this size bus. But we've done 5. And I think 5 is a decent number for us.
We're keeping it to a limit because I don't really want that many people on the bus at one time.
You love your family.
Yes, I love my family, but I like limits too. And call those boundaries. But yeah, so that was one of my biggest problems, I guess, was trying to figure out where the water goes. But thankfully, nowadays they have it where you can mount the water tanks underneath the bus almost flawlessly, because underneath the bus where the wheels go, there are so much room for compartments that it's sort of ridiculous. It's all wasted space in my head for an RV. And so I'm just going to buy basically compartments that are ready made, and we're going to weld it onto the bottom. And I'll be doing that myself, actually. Uncle Hans will be teaching me how to weld.
We're doing everything ourselves, really. We've hired out, or we're planning to hire out minimally, electric and plumbing.
Actually, we're doing that ourselves too.
Then nothing. So, we are hiring out nothing. I strike that.
I know. I'm really excited because I'm not an electrician. I do have a brain that I can understand majority of what's going on, but when we started figuring out the solar panel. It's more, I guess, simplistic than I thought it was, that the solar panel just literally feeds right into the inverter, which then converts it to electricity, and it stores in these batteries in the bus, and all that energy that's stored in the batteries is what I use throughout the bus. It's so simplified.
When you explain it like that, it is simple. But when I think of solar panels, like 5 days ago, before looking into this, I feel like my brain's going.
Mine
just
was
the
at
thought
first.
of solar panel.
The more though you really kind of construct it in your head, it really is unbelievably easy. And the fact that we haven't really embraced this.
No, it feels advanced. Like it.
Right?
It's one of, yes, and I don't know why.
But it's not. I feel like it's very
been out
basic.
for a while. I've had numerous people that have talked to me about solar panels that are like, oh, it's so simple. And I just feel like, oh, that's out of my reach. That's just another thing that I just don't know about. It's a magical panel that sits on top of your roof and somehow gives us energy. It has been very interesting and also really probably good for us to learn how this stuff actually works, how simple it is, and how functional it is.
Yeah, so thank you to the previous owner for actually installing it.
He was also an engineer.
He was an engineer too, yeah. But I have learned a lot through that process, and now we are going to run outlets throughout the bus so that I kind of am more swanky and I can plug in my laptop in the back. If it's
going to be your work studio, you need this.
Yes. So he did do the bare basics for himself for traveling, but we're going to make it a little bit more livable. And then later in life, we were even saying when the bus perhaps breaks down, we're going to probably make it into an Airbnb. So I don't know. We have a lot of odd plans for the bus.
Okay. This is kind of off topic, but another fun fact about a school bus. First school bus was from 1886, and it was a horse-drawn carriage. Kids used to jump out of the back so they didn't freak out the horse.
Oh.
I know. So buses have been around for a really long time. I feel like we're, that vintage trend we're like jumping on.
There is something nostalgic about actually living out of a bus rather than an RV. I don't know why.
I feel like living out of RV feels like I'm a 70-year-old Floridian, retired.
Why is that though? That's so weird.
I don't
that
know.
It goes with
I don't know any retired people that live out of a bus, but it's something that I feel like I've seen. Somehow living out of a school bus seems cool.
Yeah, I don't know why it seems really trendy. But we're literally upcycling and building everything ourselves and planning things. So maybe that's what it is that we're constructing it to fit our needs.
A trend of living small, like living in small spaces.
Yes.
Living with less, but having bigger life.
Yeah, because you're like questioning what you really need in life.
Right. So I think that goes along with this. And that's actually what I'm most attracted to for you. I want to do that. I tell TJ this and he says, no, I want a McMansion. Like he's like, I want more things and I want more stuff. And he's joking somewhat. He grew up not living with tons of privilege or tons of options in his lifestyle. So I guess you always chase what you didn't have.
Yeah.
You and I
we were the opposite.
We grew up not that we were spoiled, but we were
privileged, I would say.
Privileged, yeah, I agree. And I'm not ashamed of that, but it does give you a different thought process in your purchases.
Yeah.
In your lifestyles, right? So you're used to a certain thing. I think it's something commendable to say you come from a certain lifestyle and you're willing to say, not willing, but you're choosing actively to say, I don't need things. I want to have memories and choose moments over,
yeah,
status.
I definitely think so. I've noticed that when I have too many things in my life, I'm a stress case.
All of us do. We have more things than to deal with.
Yeah, that is true. All of us. And so I just want to simplify it for my own sanity. Thankfully, I don't have another half to have to question this with. So it's just me and my dog. So I would say I'm in the perfect standpoint in my life to make this happen. So why not take the plunge now before I perhaps maybe one day have children or have a significant other who thinks that that's ridiculous. So why not?
Why? Yeah. I think it's awesome. I'm super excited about it. I keep saying that. But we've also joined groups that, like, you know, when you do these kind of little adventures, I feel it's very important to join social groups for support, questions that may come about. But most of these people that are doing these big purchases, and whether it's $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, that might be a big purchase for that person in their life. So your purchase, this was a movement towards your future.
Yeah.
It's nice to correlate with people that are going through the same things. And we've joined a couple Facebook groups, but you can find groups everywhere. But I don't know, what are your favorites?
Well, I just joined a bunch, and you actually have to be welcomed in. So I have to like fill out a questionnaire.
A ceremony.
Yes. Well, it's just like a simple questionnaire just to make sure that you're like actually in the group for the right reason. So I'm part of Skoolie's House Trucks, Bus Conversions, RVs, Tiny Homes, and More. So that's just one group. That's the title.
That's such
a long title, but it covers all bases of people that are trying to move into a tiny home. And then there's 4 wheels and a bra. Since I am a woman,
so
yeah,
cute.
even though that sounds weird, I am a woman, and so when I go to RV sites or campsites, sometimes they are dangerous, and so this one allows me to check in with all of the ladies to see how it is at a certain RV campsite, and
being a female traveling alone
is different. It truly is different. You're picked out very easily in a crowd as weak. And we're often picked on. I have been, and so that's actually why I got a giant dog. So not only now do I have the bus, but at least I have some safety with the dog. I'm not willing to hold a gun, so.
Well, no, and then you'd have to go like to each state. Like, is this gun allowed? Is it not allowed?
No,
it's
and
not
I could just see me shooting myself before another person, like on my foot or something.
TJ and I have had this gun conversation. He always wants to get a gun, and I'm like, nope, it's not
seems
for
so
us.
Dangerous.
No, I said let's get either a taser gun or like I don't know, one of those rifle guns where you can go and scare the person, but no bullets. Like that. So
there's blanks.
Yeah, the sound alone of should freak the person out.
Yeah, I agree.
When you say get out of my house and you cock that gun, if they're still around, they're just a fool. That's my plan. That is my plan in life.
Oh my God, you guys do belong on a mountain in North Carolina.
We probably do. Although that's probably like a diss to mountain people in North Carolina.
Oh no, they should take that as a full compliment.
Yeah, well, they're allowed guns, so I am a little worried about that. We were actually walking through the property, and we saw the person that was surveying the property with, you know, all like neon outfit. I asked him about it, and he said, out this way, you don't wear normal clothes walking through tons of acreage.
Yeah, because there's hunters.
Yeah, but not even just hunters, but if you cross over in somebody's property, they have the right to shoot you. I didn't think about that because here, I don't, you know, in Illinois, in the Midwest, we don't just walk around with guns. It's such a crazy thought to me. So I have to get used to that. That's like the only thing that I've thought about as far as like the downside. Super excited to move out that way and experience mountain life, but especially with a bus. And that is actually a fun thought we've had is what do you do with the bus after you're done with it?
Yeah.
We're going to bury it in the mountainside, half sticking out, and use it as an Airbnb. So
okay, now when Renee says all of this, we do have 50 acres now in Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So this dream is actually a reality. We own it. We are moving out there. And the bus was sort of
delivered closing statement. We are super excited.
I know. So the bus was sort of the first step. I obviously want the plunge. I want to take the plunge and move out there as soon as possible. I cannot take another dreary winter.
No, and that's going after, like, what have we had? Like 12 days of
more than
sun.
that. Way more than that.
No, like in a row though.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I think it was 16 days in a row. It broke up with 1 day of sun, and then I was like, oh my gosh, back to no sun. Today we had a little bit of blue skies, but then the sun goes down at 4 o'clock. Yeah. So like it's a different type of living. Hence the bus, why I had to get out of here. But some of the things I actually didn't know is when you're looking for appliances on the bus. So like we got a Daewoo, which is an awesome retro fridge. And when I got it, I sheerly got it out of looks
And also storage. So finding a mini fridge is a really interesting thing. There's cute ones, but they have very, very little cubic square feet of storage. So when you're traveling, you want to eat well, because your only other options are going to Buffalo Wild Wings and fast food places along the way. And so to get food that you might travel or you might eat at home, you need a little bit of storage. Finding a cute fridge was really hard with the amount of storage that we had available. So we finally found this Daewoo, and I think it had the most cubic storage.
4.4 cubic.
That's tiny.
Yeah. It's way bigger than you think, though, because the other ones were like 3.5.
Yes. Like every little bit counts.
Yes.
So we chose this one because it's not only cute, but actually like very functional. While we purchased it, our uncle asked if it was UL certified, right?
Yeah, he called it college certified, but so UL certification, it means that is it energy efficient. So when you're on a RV or a bus, you don't want to keep running electricity to your refrigerator to keep cooling whatever products are inside. You basically want it to go into standby mode if it's already dropped down to a certain temperature. That saves a lot of energy. You're not constantly absorbing from the batteries. Thankfully, ours was. When I talked to him, I was like, listen, it's retrofitted. I'm keeping the fridge. And he's like, no, you got to make sure it's UL certified. So thank the Lord.
Worked
thank
out.
the heavens. It was UL certified. And that Daewoo actually works to keep their things energy efficient.
You sound so southern. Like, thank the heavens. It was UL certified. It all worked out.
Fitting right into the mountains. But anyways, UL certified. It promotes safe, secure, and sustainable living and work environments for people and quality. So they want you to be able to enhance the trust of what products that you're getting. They also do fair price. So what that means is that they're going to be more expensive with pricing because they want to keep their product as great as possible for the environment and for the people that are making it.
So I've actually seen, like, I've turned over my appliances like a toaster oven or whatever, and you see the big circle with a UL. And I know, well, that means something, but I don't know what it means, but I knew it was something. So I've seen the symbol, not until my uncle mentioned it that we really even know what it means. So it's always, these podcasts are like fact checks for us.
Yeah, it really has been like where we have to explore and see what our products mean.
We're just a little bit brighter every podcast.
Yeah, I would say so. In fact, we do like crunch time of research before and after these podcasts just to like fact check. But it's sort of remarkable that there are certifications that kind of lead people in the right direction. It's really like warmed to my heart that, oh my God, I do sound Southern. Warmed to my heart the fact that like they really,
God bless you.
The fact that there are like companies and nonprofits out there that are really looking into the safety of our merchandise so that we don't have to do that homework ourselves.
Yeah.
The fact that I bought it and it was accidentally environmentally safe, I was greatly surprised.
Sustainability just falls into your lap.
Yes. Isn't that great when that happens?
That's the blessing. That is the blessing.
So thank the heavens.
Kind of wrapping up on just, we're going to have many conversations over the Skoolie as we go along on this journey. And it's such an exciting journey. It's so new, so we don't even know where it's going to go. But we have to pick a chick pick. Chick pick of the week. So our chick pick is a blog, actually. It's not even an actual product, and it's buslifeadventure.com. we kind of stumbled onto this blog, and I'm so glad that I did. It's founded by a professional snowboarder that traveled and decided to live on a bus instead of going plane to plane to plane. He was being sustainable, but also dove full into this life. And I really find his website super cool and awesome. You can find any topic. So
yeah, and what I like about it is he almost connects all people who are working on the same project, and you can kind of write in and share your story.
Forums and stories. Also, depending on what kind of bus or camper van you have, you can kind of find your group. But just so many tips and advice, different sections of driving a Skoolie with air brakes, which you have, right?
I do. I have air brakes, but there's also airbags under the second set of wheels, so the back wheels. What that means is that because I have these giant metal what are they called? Airbags. They basically catch the blow. So on the back of the bus, when you were younger, you would bounce really high.
Right.
On my bus, there's airbags, so they catch all of that.
Which, as an adult, is great for my scoliosis. As a child, I loved bouncing.
I loved the bounce. But if you have a fire going on the bus,
right?
I have the fire burning stove. I'm allowed to have that fire burning stove on while I'm on the bus, driving.
Well, huge deal. And they talk about all these things, which is great because just where do you start? Where do you look for this? And these are people who are on the same journey with you. Topics is how to run an air conditioner off solar panel. These are things when we were looking at the bus, we asked, does it have air? Does it have, heat throughout? And although the guy did a really good job of providing a lot of these things, it doesn't have every luxury that we're used to in modern vehicles.
Well, no. And even though we're traveling in a tiny home, we're sort of divas because we really want the luxury to be at its finest, and we really appreciate design savvy thought. He really did, you have your water, you have your heater, but it's very the basics of design.
Right. So this website, I'm really excited. We've connected. We're following every aspect of it. Check it out if this is the journey that you want to go on, or you're just curious. The person who founded it is Brock Butterfield. So I asked TJ, who follows a lot of professional snowboarders, and he said, yep, I've heard of him. That's awesome. That's super cool that's the journey he's taken. And he did a really good job of segmenting the blog or website into different sections that are very clear and concrete for whatever type of situation you're in.
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking it out a lot when I go through my bus journey.
Yes.
Because right now it's gutted, but we'll be having to build.
Yeah, so that's the chick pick, and we just want to thank you for listening.
Yeah, and if you want to check out further of the images from our bus, check out 2 Chicks Talking Trash on our Instagram page. And we also have a Facebook.
Yes. Oh, we also have Soko Skoolie on Instagram. So you can follow direct on our transformation.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you.